It's not just table sugar, even fruit. If you're trying to lose body fat, only eat berries. Cut out bread, all carbohydrates.
I didn't want to make this video. I'm also sure that you have seen some TikToks or some shorts from these nutritional gurus telling you that what you are eating is killing you. Okay, maybe they haven't said that it's killing you, but you get the point. In the beginning, it was just annoying because you couldn't enjoy your life without a grown man screaming on your phone saying that what you are eating wasn't good for you. And they weren't wrong, because I shouldn't be eating a whole Ben & Jerry alone in the dark while watching a discussion of who would win in a fight between a tiger and a gorilla. But now it's a problem. It's gone way out of hand. Let me explain. And by the way, a tiger would win. Guaranteed. In the beginning, it was about not eating junk food or ultra-processed food, which I totally agree on. But since everybody's making videos about that now, so to keep the eyeballs on them, they need to be more controversial. So to not lose their viewer count, they have to be so extreme now that what they are preaching is just bullshit. They are spreading a lot of misinformation and lies that are wasting your time and that can harm you. Before I tell you how these health gurus are lying to you and spreading misinformation, let's talk about the placebo effect. And don't worry, I'll tell you about how they are wasting your time, and then everything will make sense. Did you know that there's no real evidence that shows that ice bath reduces inflammation? But I do it every single week because I think it does, and that is enough for me. Placebo is the real reason why many scientific-backed drug doesn't hit the market, because many of these drugs, even though they are science-backed, they can't beat an empty placebo sugar pill. Have you heard about this sham surgery? It was a lot more common back in the day. What it basically is that they just cut you open and then just sew you back on. They don't do anything to your ligament or inside your body, but they don't tell the patients that. And so many would report back feeling so much better because they thought that the doctor fixed something wrong inside of their body, when in reality, the doctor did nothing. But since they thought they were treated, they felt better. Listen, if a placebo works, it works. So if you think that eating testicles will make you feel better, then it will actually make you feel better. The problem is when Susie, who thinks the earth is flat, thinks she's a male biology expert since she lost 5 pounds on the carnivore diet, and starts to tell you how your balls supposed to feel and how to optimize for testosterone when she just lost 5 pounds on the carnivore diet. Can you see why that is annoying? So I've spent over thousands of hours digging in this diet rabbit hole because I have a chronic gut disease and my health is what I value the most in life. I've tried countless of these fad diets like vegetarian, pescatarian, low fat, low carb, keto, and even carnivore. I wasted a lot of time testing out these diets, and what I can confidently say is that there are no such thing as one perfect diet for all of us. All these diets have their own pros and cons, and in this video I'm going to reveal to you the truth about this diet so you don't have to waste your precious money or time. So after spending a fortune of my money testing all of these diets, you know what happened afterward when I was looking for help because this diet didn't work for me? I got attacked by the people in the communities because the diet didn't work for me. But it's not their fault, they are being manipulated by these nutrition gurus, aka cult leaders as I call them. These cult leaders is what's wrong with these communities, because they are making people think that there's only one way to eat, and that is dangerous. Hey you, yeah you, stop eating broccoli, because I am selling liver supplement that you can buy instead. Okay, that might not be exactly what they are saying, but you get the point. And you're probably thinking, why should you listen to me? After all, they are the experts. Well, first and foremost, I got nothing to financially gain from you compared to them. Secondly, I'm making this video because I needed this video. This video had information that would have saved me a ton of time back in the day. And if it helps you too, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, okay? But yeah, a lot of these cult leaders are so proclaimed experts. And being an expert in today's world isn't enough, because if you think about it, in every other field we have experts disagreeing with each other. Like in the stock market, we are experts predicting bull runs. We are experts predicting recession, and nobody really knows. Just because somebody is an expert does mean that they are right.
Broccoli is bullshit. I say this in some of my short form content, and I recently just got called out.
This is Paul Saladino, one of the cult leaders I am going to critique today. And I actually like Paul, and his lifestyle is great in my opinion, but he can be somewhat of a hypocrite, if you understand what I mean. This is going to hurt. So I actually like Paul. And I think all in all, he has an overall net positive effect on people's health and nutrition. But he makes a ton of money selling organ supplements. So of course he benefits from people on the carnivore or animal-based diet. The first thing Paul is doing that is damaging is that he is misleading his audience, and he constantly leaves out crucial information to make his point. Example.
Let me tell you guys why I think kale is bullshit. Look, it's a plant leaf. It's full of defense chemicals. Which chemicals? Long word, isothiocyanates. They mess with your thyroid. They inhibit iodine absorption there. And you may not know this, kale is also full of thallium, a heavy metal that's horrible for you because it pulls it from the ground. Plants' leaves don't want to get eaten. This is not good for humans, despite what you've been told.
In this video, he's trying to paint the image that kale is going to freaking kill you without giving you the full context, without telling you that dosage matters. I'm not a doctor and this is not health advice, but unless you are consuming 20 pounds a day of kale, I don't think it will harm you. And what he's doing can also be used on his beloved meat, because meat contains NEU 5GC, which may have negative impact on your thyroids. But do I think eating meat may impact my thyroid negatively? No, I don't. I don't think I eat enough meat for it to even affect my thyroid. Anyways, my point is that Paul is scaring us to think that these compounds in plants is killing us without telling us the absurd amount we would have to consume for it to have an impact.
In animal models, like in pigs who have guts that are pretty darn similar to humans, giving raw broccoli to them causes increased DNA breaks, which sounds like it could be damaging the gut of those pigs.
And what's funny about Paul's arguments is that he only cites scientific literature when it supports his point. But when it doesn't back up his argument, he suddenly criticizes how scientific research isn't perfect.
Broccoli is bullshit. You guys have heard me say it before, but I'm going to keep saying it because you need to hear it. Broccoli is part of the Brocc family of plants. This family of plants contains compounds like isothiocyanates, which prevent the absorption of iodine in your thyroid, which leads to lower levels of thyroid hormones, low energy, weight gain, fatigue, malaise.
I've noticed that a lot of the studies that he refers to are studies that are done on animals, and he completely ignores the human randomized controlled trials to make his case, like the broccoli video, where there have been human randomized controlled trials that have shown that broccoli doesn't help you gain weight and doesn't really have any real negative effect on your thyroids. And Paul, he have actually been called out for this. And you know what he did then?
Broccoli is bullshit. I say this in some of my short form content, and I recently just got called out for saying there's not randomized controlled trials in humans to say that broccoli is harmful. But here's my take. I actually don't think you need randomized controlled trials in humans when you have significant clinical experience. I've seen hundreds, if not thousands of people improve gut issues, skin issues, thyroid issues from cutting out broccoli, kale, other cruciferous plants.
Then he plays that scientific research isn't perfect card, and he refers to comments on his Instagram about how his audience feels so much better after cutting out broccoli. And you know what's wrong with that? One, you can't use scientific research when it fits you and then bash it when it goes against you. You can see how that can be hypocritical, right? Secondly, the audience that follows him have already bought into the carnivore or the animal-based diet. And that is selection bias. And that's just a cheap sales trick and not a real valid argument, because you can find the same anecdote in the vegan community. If I go to a vegan nutritional guru's Instagram, I'll find comments like, "Oh, I cut out meat and it healed my autoimmune condition. Oh, I cut out meat and my gut feels so great right now." People who follow these cult leaders, they have already bought into their message. So like DJ Khaled says,
don't ever play yourself.
have you heard about the Dunning-Krueger effect? It's a well-known phenomenon in the psychology world. It's about how people with the least knowledge are the most confident. Since they have so little knowledge, they don't know all the pitfalls and everything that could go wrong. So they are overconfident in their abilities. How is this relevant to diet, you're probably wondering? Well, a lot of these carnivore followers don't know shit about diet. They just lost a few pounds and they think it's because of the meat. And they know so little about nutrition that they are overconfident in their beliefs. The reason why I call these nutritional gurus for cult leaders is because the communities are full of ignorant people, literally making it their life mission to harass people into drinking liver smoothies. I'm not pro-broccoli or anti-meat, but I just can't deal with Susies who tells you how your balls are supposed to feel when you are cutting out broccoli. I just can't. And I am not even kidding when I'm saying that there are a true cult vibe in these communities. I've talked to people who have tried the carnivore diet and have negative health outcomes, but they didn't want to share it with anyone because they were too afraid of how people in their own community would respond. And people who had the courage to share their honest experience, you know what happened to them? They got blocked by their Facebook group or got shamed in their Facebook group, or were told that they were doing it wrong or that they were being lazy by the other peoples in the community. Speaking with confidence can be very persuasive, and it can actually move mountains. If you have watched the TV series Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, then you know it doesn't matter whether you have a bulletproof business venture or not. If you don't present your idea with confidence, nobody is gonna buy it. And the opposite can also be said. Even a mediocre idea, if presented confidently enough, can persuade people to buy at any price. Like Adam Newman, the founder of WeWork. He had so much confidence in his business plan for shared working space that he convinced the smartest people in the world to invest billions in his idea. WeWork was worth $47 billion in 2019, making it one of the most valuable startups at this time. Last November, they filed for bankruptcy. Do you know what these diet gurus and real cult leaders have in common? They speak both with so much confidence and conviction that you don't really have any reason to doubt what they are saying. But remember, the Dunning-Krueger effect. You can be confident and very persuasive without having any real clue or knowledge what you're talking about. Have you heard about the Heaven's Gate religious group? On the 26th March 1997 in San Diego, 39 persons of the Heaven's Gate religious group committed a mass suicide.
Now, the reason this is such an interesting time is not only because we're on the threshold of the end of this civilization.
The members were convinced that Earth would soon be hit by a comet carrying a spaceship and that Earth would soon be recycled. And several members underwent voluntary castrations before the main event. This is one of many examples of the effect that a persuasive, confident leader can have when they believe in something so strongly. Eddie Abu is freaking saying that people should stop taking their medication for depression because changing their diet will heal them. It might help, but that's a dangerous message to spread, especially when the most common death cause in the West right now for people between 14 and 44 age is suicide.
64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. 69 reps. That's the magic number for hypertrophy gains. Regardless of which diet you follow or which health guru you believe in, one thing that everyone agrees upon is that regular exercise is crucial for your longevity, health, and testosterone, but also for your overall happiness and well-being. I know that many struggle to see results from their workouts, and many even struggles to enjoy the workout. And a lot of people struggle to even get started with a routine. So in the link below, I'll show you for free how to fix your fitness problem, get in the best shape of your life in the next 30 days. Link below, it's free. Check it out.
As mentioned, I'm not pro broccoli or anti-meat. And to be honest with you, I eat about 1 to 2 pounds of red meat every day. And when I was on the carnivore diet, it did heal my chronic gut disease GERD. But my testosterone took a nosedive. Sleep was bad and I was constantly stressed. The reason why the carnivore diet or even vegetarian diet might work for someone is because it's an elimination diet. What that means that since you are only eating one type of food, you are removing ultra-processed food, snacks, and alcohol from your previous diet. And of course, you are going to feel better and most likely lose weight too, which will again make you feel even better. Here is the truth. For the majority of people watching this video, you don't have to choose between the carnivore diet or the vegan diet. If you just focus on removing ultra-processed food from your diet, removing seed oil, staying away from alcohol, and stay at a healthy weight, that's more than good enough for most people. But for the minority of people, like myself, who have a chronic gut disease, or if you have an autoimmune disease, then maybe going on an elimination diet like the carnivore or vegetarian diet is right in the beginning. But the goal is always to end up at your own custom elimination diet. After being healed, trying to incorporate one food at a time and learn which food you can tolerate and which food triggers your symptoms. When I introduced one food at a time after the carnivore diet, I've learned that I can't tolerate food with high GI levels. That is what's triggering my GERD, which is my chronic gut sickness. But I can tolerate berries, kiwis, salad, potatoes, broccoli completely fine. And after integrating back those food to the diet, it fixed all the issues I had with the carnivore diet without taking away the benefits I got from the carnivore diet. Every fad diet has its own pros and cons, and you don't want to stick with it longer than you have to. There are no secret that we are more overweight, sick, and unhealthy than ever. So of course there are people that are trying to take advantage of it. But these cults are not the answer. And honestly, the misinformation they are spreading is becoming dangerous. Also, these diets are so extreme that they're unrealistic and unsustainable for most people. And if you can't sustain it, you are sacrificing a large part of your life that brings you a lot of joy. And I think for most people, it doesn't have to be that extreme. You don't have to make that big of a sacrifice to thrive in life. Eating well and healthy is so important, especially as we are getting older. It's important if you just want to feel normal or live a life without depending on prescribed drugs or constant doctor visits.
But the problem is that our standard nutritional advice and guidelines are so complicated that nobody really understands it or bothers to learn it. So I made this video. It's a no BS guide that will teach you everything you need to know about diet. This video will save you a lot of time and a ton of headaches. Thanks for watching till the end. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoy this type of content. Stay healthy, keep thriving, and I see you guys on the next one. Peace.